Hey kids, Greg Fitzsimmons, your host. I had a quick date to plug. It's been a long time since I've promoted a stand-up comedy date. October 8th through the 10th, I will be at in Cleveland at Hilarities Comedy Club at the Pickwick Frolic. I hope you guys can make it out. It's COVID-friendly, spacing out all the rows. There's plexiglass. There's high ceilings. I wouldn't be going if I didn't think it was safe, but I'm real excited to do stand-up again. I hope you guys can go to Fitzdog.com, get some tickets, and enjoy the comeback to comedy 2020. Hello, kids. Fitz puppies. It's here. Football season's here. I'm very excited about it. I've gotten oh my God, there's a piece of rat shit on my goddamn desk every day. There's a rat in my office. Oh, I just found it. It's like a little secret every day. Anyway, football season's here, and there's nothing more fun than betting on it and not having to worry about chasing down a friend to give you the money or any kind of bullshit like that. If you use my bookie, you just get online, you go to their site, which is easy and fun. And right now, winning season is going on, which means they double your first deposit. I think all the way up to like $1,000. Insane player props, epic bonuses, and the craziest cross-sport wagers. At MyBookie, winning season means watching live sports and betting live sports all season long. Let's hope this fucking season keeps going, because this first week, oh my God, I lost some, I won some. There was a lot of upsets. There was money to be made if you were smart, which I know you are. Patrick Mahomes, is that how you say his name? The Chiefs starting where they left off. This is it. Huge cash prizes week in and week out. Get in the action. Use promo code Fitzdog and double your first deposit. Double it. You put it in, they match it. New players get up to $1,000 in free play designed to add more excitement to the sport you love and the games you bet. Bet with the best this NFL season for your chance to win big. Use promo code Fitzdog, Fitzdog. Double your first deposit. Your winning season begins today, only at MyBookie. Now, let's get to the podcast. All right, put in the theme song here. Welcome to Fitzdog Radio. Your host, Greg Fitzsimmons, sits in front of you. He's got on his special jersey. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see my Grapefruit Simmons jersey that was made for me by a fan, a listener. I don't like the word fan. I've never liked to call anybody that listens to me or comes to my shows a fan. My fan. Nobody else's. They don't go see the Sklar Brothers. They don't go see Jim Gaffigan. They're my fan. I'm all they think about. It's a bit much. My listeners. Fucking ashy here in LA. You may hear a wheeze. I'm having asthma. I have asthma, and this smoke is bringing it out in me. I had just started running every day, and I stopped running, which I was relieved. There's always that relief of like, oh, good, now I don't have to run. I have a legitimate excuse. And the smoke is falling into my yard like it's fucking snowing out. It gets on Look, should I complain? Up north, people are dying and losing their homes. But at the same time, I was supposed to play golf yesterday. I drove all the way out to Encino. I got there. They had no carts left, and they wanted me to walk with ashes in the air. And I said, I can't live like this. So I didn't get to play golf yesterday. All because somebody lit a fire. How did this fire start? Did we figure that out? I think it's a number of fires now. But I talked to my friend Michael O'Brien in New York, and he said that the skies are gray there, that the fucking ashes and smoke have reached New York City. I feel bad. I feel dirty as a Californian. I feel like I got to apologize, like we couldn't keep our shit together. As Trump said, we didn't clear our forest floor. Like, I don't know, maybe all winter we should have been out there with rakes cleaning up the forest floor. Which, by the way, and again, you know I don't like to get political, but Trump blamed us for not clearing. 96% of the land that's on fire is federal land. 4% is owned by California. So why don't you clean up your yard? He's putting out a lot of bad messages. He's talking about he doesn't think wearing a mask. Put a mask on. Set an example. It's literally what is causing this pandemic to continue, is not wearing masks. Be a leader. Put a fucking mask on. All right, anyway. Speaking of staying safe, if you're using video, like I'm watching all these videos of like, sometimes it's a college class and then somebody's dick pops up on a screen, or people start heckling an executive, sometimes with racist stuff. Anything can happen on these video conferencing calls because they're not really encrypted very well. So you need private internet access to keep snoopers and hackers off your back. And this is everything. This is your streaming services, everything you use on your computer should all be going through. They should all be encrypted at a much higher level. And so private internet access hides your IP address. It makes you anonymous when you're online. It also unblocks all the geo-restricted content, which means you can watch whatever they're showing on Netflix Canada, Netflix Great Britain, wherever. You're watching 10 times more programming by paying like this is like $3 a month, this product that I'm pitching to you, which is going to keep you safe, keep you from getting hacked. They got apps for all operating systems, so easy to use. They gave it to me and I set it up. I'm a fucking Luddite. I don't know how to do shit. I set it up in 5 minutes and I sleep at night now knowing that my internet is protected. 30-day money-back guarantee is in place for you, so try it out. See if you don't feel like I do. Special deal, 77% off, less than $3 a month, plus 3 months added for free. Only at privateinternetaccess.com/Fitzdog. Make sure you use my code. Let them know where you heard about it. privateinternetaccess.com/Fitzdog. Also, want to remind you about the something that's changed my life. Earbuds can be expensive. They can be bulky. You got little sticks sticking out of them. I listen to mine in bed. And when I go to bed, I listen to audiobooks, as you know. And there's one right now that I'm listening to about the Comanches. It's called Under the Summer Moon or something. And first of all, the Comanches were insane. They were fucking hardcore. If they raided your village, all the men got killed, tortured, their own dicks in their mouth, the whole thing. Women raped, babies dragged behind horses. They were fucking crazy. And they became so dominant because, what am I going to do about this rat? Jesus, look at this rat shit. Can you see this? I'm holding it up to the screen. They got horses because when the Spaniards invaded, they came up through Latin America, made it Latin America, and then they got defeated by the Comanches. We stole their horses. I consider myself a Comanche. Stole their horses, and then they started defeating everybody because they became the first indigenous people to go to war on fucking horseback. And they were like the greatest riders of all time. They would hang off the side of a horse sideways, shooting arrows, carrying a 14-foot spear, and picking up fallen warriors as they went. Insane. Anyway, so I'm listening to this book. And when I listen to it, I need noise. What am I? Trump? I need noise canceling earbuds because my wife snores like a fucking bull. And don't tell her that I've told you that. But, and I live in Venice. There's car alarms, there's helicopters, there's noise. So I go to bed and I put these things in, and they're so sleek that it's not bulky on the side of my head. They're less than half the price of the other guys. And they're premium. They are. I've had the other brands. They're just as good. My friend Rabi got them, loves them. So listen to your favorite music, get into it. They got a nice bassy sound. The newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are the best ones yet. 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing. You hit one button, boom, you're clicked. More bass, compact design, noise isolating fit. So anyway, a lot of famous people endorsed them. Snoop Dogg, Melissa Etheridge, Mike Tyson. They all love them. Give them a try. 40-day free return policy, so you can make sure that they're everything I'm telling you that they are. The ones for you. So here's the call to action. For a limited time, get 15% off when you order at buyraycon.com/Fitzdog. That's buyraycon, RAYCON.com/Fitzdog for a special 15% discount on Raycon wireless earbuds. Make sure to check it out while the deal's running. Buyraycon.com/Fitzdog. All right, let's get to a little Say What. From, who's this? Hal Pitaway. Hey, Greg, I got another colloquialism from my 100% Irish nurse, who is really not that crazy about your bad language. Well, fuck her. I'm sorry. That was rude. Whenever a housefly enters the room, she gets very pissed off and calls them shit eaters. That either comes from Ireland or Baltimore, he says. And it's true. There's, again, living in Venice, people walk their dogs. They don't always pick up the shit. And you see a mound of flies on the shit. And then later in the day, I'm eating my cereal and I got a fly sitting on my bowl and I know it's got shit on its feet. And I think they're born out of shit. Is that how it works? Like a fly plants eggs into shit and then they're born and then they eat the shit and then they, so I got a fly swatter out and I go to fucking town. I feel like a hunter. I'll kill 6-7 flies in an outing with my fly swatter. This one comes from Rick in Atlanta. Hey now. I've lived down south all of my 75 years and only heard this one yesterday. Quote, that fucking water was so cold, I was shivering like a dog shit in peach pits. My dog shivers, Brûlé. We've brought him to the doctor. He's a Lhasa Apso, which is the least threatening of all canines. And you walk down the street with his name is Brûlé on top of it. He trembles. He's a trembling little fluff dog. And when he's walking, I gotta, come here, Brûlé. And, look, I'm woke. But at the same time, it's still weird when you grew up when I did to be confused for a homosexual. And nothing wrong with homosexuality. I almost sucked a guy's dick once. But when you're walking a dog named Brûlé who's shaky and fluffy, I can't tell you how emasculating that is. Sometimes maybe it's good to be confused with being a gay guy. They're better dressed. They get their haircuts better. What am I going to stereotype all gay guys? Yes, I am. They work out more. They're in better shape. I should only be confused for a gay guy. This comes from Jerry Matthews. Hi, Greg. I'm from Dublin, and one of my oldest friends hails from County Mayo in the west of Ireland. He has a turn of phrase for every occasion delivered in his effortless, thick Mayo accent. On seeing a large member of the other sex, she's carrying a fair bit of timber. You'd need to use the side gate to get her into the crush. I think the crush is the garbage. So is the implication that your friend throws overweight women into the garbage? Get her into the crush? On seeing an especially beautiful woman, I'd crawl through a barrel of broken glass just to stick matches in her shit. Why would you stick matches in her shit? What does that mean? I like it. Don't get me wrong. I'd swim through an ocean of shit just open-mouthed just to suck the cock of the last fella that fucked her. Well, guess what, buddy? I fucked her. Get over here. You don't even have to swim through the ocean of shit. Just suck my dick. Look at my dog. On being especially hungover, I'm not fit for shooting. Christ, I'm poisoned. Poisoned. I'm septic. I've heard that one before. All right, let's do a couple quick overheards and we'll get to the Sklar Boys. Sorry if I seem rushed, but it's nighttime and the day got away from me and I'm banging this out. And I like this overheard. My first grader is doing virtual schooling, and during PE they were doing toe touches, and one little girl said defeatedly, "My legs are too long." Aw. No, they're not. You're just weak. You're just weak. Scott Cooper. My son and I are sitting outside getting ready to eat a couple burgers. Sunny afternoon, lots of activity. Two young women in their 20s walk by, and I hear one of them say, quote, "I just don't see the point of listening to an album by yourself." You, ma'am, are missing the point of music. If you can't listen to Blue by Joni Mitchell, if you can't listen to Back to Black by Amy Winehouse with headphones on by yourself, you don't know what music is. If you haven't driven, say you're driving an hour away to go to a party and you put on Get Your Ya-Ya's Out by the Stones or Live at Leeds and you get fucking pumped up on some Beastie Boys, you don't know what music is. You got to listen alone, sweetheart. All right, let's get to the interview section of the podcast. This guy's a buddy of mine who is, I've known him and his wife since they were struggling, living in a shitty little apartment down on the beach. They were on the beach. It wasn't that shitty, but compared to where they're at now, I'm very proud of Tom and Christina. They've just really exploded because of their hard work and their talent. And they're just really good people. Tom is playing big theaters. He's got giant specials. You know him. You love him. I had a real nice chat with him. Here it is. Me and Tom Segura. Hey now. Fitzdog Radio comes to you live from Venice Beach, California, connecting through to, what are you, in the Valley?
I moved, man. I moved to the good side. I moved to your side.
Oh, good for you, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, dude, how can you live in LA and not have access to the beach? It's crazy.
It's the shit. It's a game changer, man.
Yeah. It just changes my whole mood. I mean, look at me. I'm fucking pasty white, freckled, red nose. I don't give a shit. I'll die. I will die, but I will die with a smile on my face.
I agree, man. I think even, we do a walk where we walk by the ocean and just looking at it for a few minutes changes your morning. It really does.
You do that? You get up in the morning and take a walk?
Yeah, we do it a lot. I mean, we did it for most of like this quarantine.
Yeah.
Where it was like a daily routine. I feel like things have shifted a little bit in the last few weeks, but most of our morning routine during this thing has been like you get up with the kids, we have breakfast, and then we go for this walk, and it takes us like right by these like this out cliffs looking over the ocean. It's incredible. Nice. It changes your morning.
It does. And it's like, the Valley is like literally 20 to 30 degrees hotter. So dude, right off the bat, it's
wild. And I go there a lot still. Our office is there. Yeah. And there's been days in the last month where I have seen a 35-degree temperature swing on a 25-minute drive.
Right.
It's incredible.
I know. Well, welcome back. We'll have to get together when things calm down.
Yeah, I'd love to, man.
So, how are you?
I'm all right, man. I did stand up Saturday.
No shit.
Yeah, and that was like.
Did you do that rooftop thing?
It was sort of like that. It was put together. It's called Low Key, I think, Low Key Comedy. Yeah. And it was outdoors, like socially distanced. They were masked. They take your temperature when you get there, but it was a real show. Like it was a real show. And it was my first time in 6 months and 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had a break like that, obviously.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I had
yeah.
I had real nerves, man. I mean,
Yeah.
nerves I haven't felt in a long time.
Right.
But it was, I was joyful. Like when you finish shooting a special and you're like, I was so happy after that. That was such a great, and it was like a good reminder too, that I was like I was telling somebody, I was like, oh yeah, it made me go like, oh yeah, that's what I do. I feel like I've been occupying myself with nonsense and now I'm doing what I do when I do that. And I go like, I really want to get back to stand up badly, man. You know?
Yeah, I had the same experience at 5 months. I've only done one spot in 6 months, and I had the same experience. I was nervous. I went on stage, and I felt for the first minute or two, like, why am I funny? Like, what's funny about me? I don't remember. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you connect with a couple jokes.
Yep.
And then you go, oh yeah, all that other stuff is a distraction. And I got to the point where during this pandemic where I was like enjoying being home with my wife every night so much, seeing my kids, not being away, that I was like, maybe I'll just fucking write, because I've always split my time between writing and stand-up. And I was like, maybe I'll just give it up. And then within 5 minutes, I was like, fuck that. This is what I need to do.
Yeah, it's, I mean, we've been really lucky. Meaning the people like us who can still do things during a thing like this, write or podcast and be creative. But when you get a taste of that stand up again, it's definitely a reminder. You're like, this is the shit. This is the best thing. What
do you think that feeling? What do you think about it is the most sort of addictive and fulfilling?
I think the easy, the thing that comes to mind, you go, it's the immediate reaction and that feeling of making people laugh. But I actually think it's the idea of taking an idea in your head out of seemingly out of nowhere and being like, I'm going to say this thing, and you play with how you're going to say it. And then the fact that carries through to a performance and you get the reaction, it's a little deeper than just making them laugh. It's that process. And when it all comes together, it kind of literally feels like magic. It's like magic,
Right.
So, I mean, I had the thing too, where I've done this so many times, but it feels like I forgot about it a little bit, where I was like, I'm going to try this, some off the, throwaway thing, but I got nervous and half did it.
Yeah.
And then it just falls so flat.
Right.
And you start to feel like you're bombing.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're dying.
Yeah.
But actually I didn't resent them for it. I was like, yeah, this is it. You got to go, you got to commit, you got to, I kind of half-assed this thing, and people were like, what? I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing about it with stand-up is that there's never, it doesn't matter how big you get. I know you're out there playing fucking big theaters and, doing specials whenever you feel like it. And people just think, all right, now it gets easy.
Yeah.
And no, it's still the same. It's the same thing as standing up to home plate. Doesn't matter what your batting average is.
Yeah.
The guy's still going to throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and you got.
That's right, dude. You're 100% right. Doesn't matter what kind of guaranteed contract you still got to hit that ball,
Yeah.
And I mean, there was that thing about stand up too, where it really, it keeps you honest, and it does. You can sweat yourself, and then you go on one of these shows and you see some kid you've never heard of, and he just fucking destroys, and you're like, oh shit, that kid's good.
Right.
It just reminds you. Yeah.
What do you think about Jim Gaffigan coming out against Trump like this? I know that's out of nowhere, but I was just thinking of you. You remind me of him in the sense that you're prolific and you put out 1-hour specials that are just fucking solid, and you're playing the same kind of
thing. I mean, and we do the same act. Let's be honest, we're the same guy. Now, I was surprised. I was definitely surprised. For people, even if you are listening or watching this and you're conservative, let me tell you, it does take balls to do something like that. And if you think it doesn't, I'm telling you, he knows exactly that he has what his image is and that he stays away from this type of thing. And I think he actually is expressing something that so many people identify with, which is there's a part of you with Trump that it's not about party affiliation or policies. There's a lot of people who just go, hey man, you don't sense that something's really wrong here.
Yeah,
like that we're talking about this guy with like, you know, no moral compass. And he just, he hits a lot of people the way that a con man would hit you because he is. Right. And basically Jim just is exhausted of that feeling and just goes, look, it's either repress it more or express it. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
And I think what happened was when he did it, it not only was cathartic for him, you saw this huge uprising of people being like, oh my God, thank you, and celebrating it because they have the same feeling, you know?
And they can't say it. A lot of people can't express themselves.
They can't express it. And like, I think it probably felt so goddamn good for him to be like, are you seriously cool with this guy? I mean, it's one of the things that I think, like, one of the things that makes me crazy is, there's a lot of it, but like right now when people keep calling out Biden's cognitive ability, right? And like, is this guy all there? I'm like, hold on a second. I get that, but like, are you saying that you're all for the cognitive ability of the guy currently in office?
Yeah.
I mean, he struggles to put together sentences too. He slurs through words.
Years ago, he talked about watching the firemen run into the buildings on 7-Eleven. Like, shit like that is daily with him.
It's all the time. That's what I'm saying. It's all the time. I mean, Gates said twice, Trump said was like, what's the difference? Is there a difference between HPV and HIV? Mm-hmm. Right? two separate occasions was like, are these the same thing? And he's like, no, these are not. Like, what do you mean? Like, this is not like, he's not a savvy, smart guy that navigates, you know, different topics well. He's a real baseline dude, doesn't read the daily briefing. He said it's hard to keep his attention. It's like, we're not talking about a sharp guy either, is my point. Like, when people just go, something's wrong with Biden, it's like, I mean, sure. He doesn't seem like he's as sharp as he was, but I don't think we have a fucking Ginsu knife in the Oval Office right now. If that's what you're comparing it to. So. Yeah.
Well, do you, cause like, I think about Gaffigan's following as being pretty conservative. Like, I would imagine he skews more Republican than Democratic, which is why it was such a big deal. But like for you, I know for me, I try to kind of keep my cards close to my chest. Like I definitely reveal my political leanings, but I try not to go to, this is about as much as I've talked about politics in a long time. Yeah. Just because I hate getting the fucking tweets. I hate dealing with it. But then at the same time, I realize, like, you know, my podcast is supposed to be what I believe and what I feel. Like, how do you balance that?
That's a good one, man. I try not to, I mean, I realize, first of all, that a lot of people are way smarter than me and do this type of conversation way better than I can, you know, and they know the world and they can counterpoint every aspect of this. But I mean, I haven't buried or hidden my disdain for Trump for these past 3.5 years. Like, most people who like listen to my podcast or follow me, they know. I mean, I haven't like hidden it. I don't lead with it every week. I'm not making it a daily talking point. I honestly have fatigue of just the last few years of just news and you know, all the same shit. And I'm just like, I like to get away from it too. Yeah. So like, I mean, I feel kind of the same way you do, where I'm not going to like deny that I'm not a fan of his, and that I think he's grossly incompetent and inept and just a fool, and you're fucking stupid if you believe anything he says. But, you know, I'm not going to like drive it home every day either.
Right,
you know?
Right. Yeah. All right. You know what I saw today driving to work? I have a 5-minute drive from my house to my office. And
nice. That's winning. That's winning in Los Angeles.
Oh, the greatest. Just far enough to masturbate freely. And so I drive past a park. And what I've noticed lately is how many fat people are jogging during the pandemic. Like, because you feel like now you have to. You have no fucking excuse.
You have no excuse. And you also have that thing, like I had this when it first started, when they were like, we're locking down the city. It was like March, right? Like mid-March or something. And they're like, you got to stay inside. I remember being like, I'm going to up my exercise and like taking care of myself.
Yeah.
Because I know this could be like I thought it would be like a 3-month thing where like I walk out of my house 40 pounds heavier. And like, if you're already carrying weight, you just can't, man. Yeah. I've leaned in hard. I'm one of those people. I'm the fat guy jogging in the park.
You're doing it. No shit.
Oh, I play tennis 3 days a week. I'm boxing twice a week.
Whoa.
I had a hernia operation 6 weeks ago. So during all this, I had to stop lifting, but I was lifting 4 days a week before this started.
God damn.
Well, I'm sure because it's literally that. It's being like, I know it. I'm 41. If you're already like, I'm on the line of like, could get super fat, could get health. Like if you lean one way, if you let yourself just, I'm not going to exercise and I'm not going to care. I know that what the result will be. So I've seen
you fat. When you lost weight, you literally transformed because your face carries weight. Yeah. So when you lost weight, all of a sudden, this is going to sound kind of gay.
Yeah.
But I wanted to suck your dick.
That's not gay, dude. That's a normal compliment.
That's normal when someone loses weight, right?
Yeah. I walk around. I tell guys all the time I want to suck their dick.
Right.
Yeah, if they look good.
It's just weird because the pounds came off of you and they went onto my cock. I would see you at the store and I kept walking. Like if you were talking to somebody, I would walk around and get behind you just to
get the full picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if I didn't lose weight initially when I did, and we got to something like this, I mean, I would just die during the quarantine.
Right.
And people would be like, of COVID, you'd be like, no, he just got super fat and he died.
Yeah. So what is it like? Cause I'm lucky as shit because I was born skinny.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life embarrassingly skinny. Like as a teenager, you didn't want to be me.
Yeah.
Because I had a big mouth and I was a wise ass, but I also like was too small to fight a lot of guys. So, but now that I'm older, like my body's perfect, except for this huge fucking belly that I got during quarantine.
You got a big belly for real?
Yeah, check it out.
That's hilarious though.
Yeah.
That's like, it's funny. It's funny what skinny guys will be like, look at my big belly. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just weird that I never had it and now I have it.
Now you have it, yeah.
But when I go to exercise, because I've always exercised, but not when I needed to. Like now I need to, and I'm fighting it. Like what goes through your head on a day when you don't feel like? What's the fight that you're up against when you have to push through?
There's a couple of them. I mean, there's a lot of times there's the time constraint, right? Like you'll be like, I got to do this with the kids. I got to go to the office to do these podcasts. I got to record this promo. I got to call the business guy. And then you'll be like, oh man, there's, the window's getting smaller where I can fit it in. But you realize those times that if you go, no, I have to do it. Like it's all mental. You learn that it's all mental. If I go, I have to do it. I always 100% of the time, 1,000 out of 1,000 times feel better. And I'm glad that I did it.
It's amazing.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Right. And you'd think then why is there a debate about it?
Yeah.
Then the other one of it is like the giving in to that other voice in your head of like fatigue. I'm tired. I'm laying down. It feels good. I'm watching this thing. I want to keep watching it. I'm listening to this music. I'm jerking off. You know what I mean? I don't like, so there's either like I'm too busy or like, yeah, but and the thing is when I feel that fatigue and I don't, and I succumb to it, I 100% of the time feel worse afterwards for not doing it.
Of course. Yeah. It's like the food you eat, there's times where you just are like, God damn, ice cream is good,
Yeah.
And again, like, who am I to complain? I'm 153 pounds.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah, I know.
I was 150 pounds when I was in 5th grade, 10 years old.
Were you a fat guy? Well, you played football in high school, right?
Yeah, I actually, I've had like literally my life's weight has been like this.
Yeah.
So I've been like, when I was a freshman in high school, I had a 29-inch waist. And I was,
really?
I weighed 170, but you couldn't pinch fat on me or anything.
Yeah.
And then sophomore year of high school. So the very next year I was 210.
Oh,
so that's
shit.
40 pounds.
Was that from trying to put it on for football?
Yeah. Like trying to put it on and then junior year I was 225 and senior year I was 245. But then I went to college, and the college I didn't play football in college. So even though I was carrying fat, I was working out and being active in high school. By the time I got to college, all that started to go away. I just got I was just fat.
Right.
And then sophomore year, I broke up with a girl, and then that thing takes over in your brain where you're like, I need to get laid though.
Right.
So the motivation was very strong and always there. If you're 19, you're never not thinking about sex.
Right.
So I went from 255 to 185.
That was pussy weight. That was getting pussy weight.
And that I kept that off.
That's a motivator.
That's a motivator. I kept most of that off until I was 25.
Yeah.
And you probably met me a few years after that. So but it took me actually a number of years to gain that weight again.
Right. Right.
So it's always been up and down. It sucks. It's just one of those things for me. It's I know it'll always be something that I have to stay on top of,
Isn't it weird that time is an issue at all in our lives right now when we're not commuting? I mean, you're commuting to your office, but there's no traffic, so it's less than it would have been. All these podcasts, I'm not having to drive to your place to do the podcast, and we're sitting on a computer, and we're not socializing, we're not meeting people for dinner, and yet there's still a time crunch. There should be no time crunch. Think about in the 1800s, if you wanted to get a bunch of people together, you had to fucking write a letter and give it to a guy on a horse.
Yeah.
And then fucking time it out 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
No,
it would be, I know it's so easy to, and I talked to a producer who told me that this period has made them rethink about how they manage their time at this big production company. And they said we're never going to do caravan meetings again. So for somebody listening or watching, usually if Greg and we have a show we want to pitch, it's 8 a.m. We're going to meet at Netflix's offices and then with everybody. And then we'll get in the car and we'll drive over to HBO, and then we'll get in the car and we'll drive over to Amazon. And your whole day is spent commuting for these 30 to 60 minute meetings. Right. And he was like, oh, no. We have a policy now that those type of days are over. We're just going to do this because it saves everybody's time. Yeah. It's just a big waste of everybody's day to do that, which I think is a big, positive, from this is oh yeah, I don't have to do it that way. This taught us that this makes sense.
But do you think that you could pitch as well? Because for me as a comedian, I feel like I have a huge advantage over other writers because I can go in the room and I can play it almost like stand-up. I mean, most of the shows that I've sold because it's bits from my act that are about my life, my relationship to my teenager and things that have happened. And I just pitch them in the room. And I feel like if I can make them laugh in that room, that's 70% of selling the show.
I think you're probably right about that. I also feel like you're probably better at it. And that's one of the reasons, there's things that I know a couple of actors that they're I love auditioning. And I'm what? And they're yeah, I love it. I love the opportunity. I love going in there. And I'm okay. And then I'm well, you're probably really good at it, Yeah. So I don't like auditioning. I don't like pitching. I mean, it's just personally, maybe I'm not good at it. I just never have been.
Right.
So for me, I don't know. I even had those fantasies that I was during quarantine that I was 75 and that my work years were behind me. And I was yeah, it was a nice life,
Could you retire if you think you could comfortably retire right now, lifestyle wise?
No. I mean, I'd have to move. I could retire at in a fucking Bakersfield or move some.
No, I don't mean financially. I mean could you walk away from a lot of the stuff you're doing?
No, because
you enjoy what you're doing.
I enjoy it. Not only that, I feel one of the we're talking about having no time.
Yeah,
no time. I'm somebody who I have less anxiety if I'm doing a lot.
Yeah.
My anxiety goes way up if I really like. I even when in a normal world during a vacation, I have like a 7 to 10 day window of like enjoying myself, and then I start to get really anxious.
Right.
So I don't think I don't think I could actually retire.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I've been doing it longer than you, and I also think that I feel like I just enjoy my life so much, and I think I'm more into working now than I was a couple years ago. When your kids are both teenagers, you're not going to want to go on the road. You're not going to want to because you start realizing this is about to end, and you want to soak it all in. My daughter's a senior in high school.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's not that I want to retire, but I love that there is a year right now where my son couldn't go to college. We're all in the house together.
That's cool.
That shit's going to end,
I know. The big positive, like this was going to be more of I had a special come out in April or March. So
Ball hog.
Yeah. So I was gonna, do the regular thing where like I go on the road and I not like on a tour, but like I need to build an hour. So I had it built out, right, of like some club dates spread out throughout the year. So when this came shut down, I've been home, and I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and it's been, challenging, sure, at times, but ultimately I'm really actually grateful that I got to see so much more and be around for so much more. Like it was fun. I keep reminding myself, I would have missed this. I would have missed this. I would have missed this.
Right.
Because it was happening all the time. I mean, that last tour was the better part of like 15, 16 months, which, of course it's not continuous, but I was out a lot.
Yeah.
I was out a lot. And I missed all kinds of things,
Right. Now, isn't it weird? It's so existential to think that there's so many little things we sweat that might change in our lives, without the pandemic. Like, what if I lose my radio job on Sirius, or what if, whatever happens. And then something like this happens and you go like, oh, we can absorb huge changes if we really wanted to.
Yeah.
You see that the government could actually give everybody an extra $600 a week and a $1,200 bump. Like, they've got the fucking money. They're always saying that there's no money. They've got the money. They're just not spending it on things that, would have helped people directly before. Yeah.
You think about it all, especially like anytime, most people, we just kind of skim over it. But when you release like the yearly budget, that the federal government spends, and you start looking at the line items on this thing, and you're like, holy shit, talking about a multi-trillion-dollar budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you can deduct some things from all of this and be fine. It's not like the whole operation falls apart if they pull back on that. Yeah, there's so much more that could be done. I mean, on every level. Like you kind of go, how can a country this wealthy have this many homeless people walking around on the streets, right? I mean, even like trivial things. Like you go like, you're in a city like Los Angeles with this population. In California, the 6th biggest economy in the world.
Right.
We have 40 million residents in the state. It's a massive, massive operation. This state is. Right. And you go like, how is there a bad fucking road in this city? Right. Like, how do you have a gap like that size on the road? It's like, I don't know. It's just like,
Venice is getting real bad, man. We got tents popping up like fucking on our block. There's tents popping up, and you really go like, as like I was raised as a bleeding heart liberal in New York. My dad was on radio doing liberal radio.
Right.
And so it's like, there's this part of me that's like, all right, let's see you walk the walk now. It's your backyard. You're going to bring this guy a sandwich, or you're going to fucking throw a stink bomb on his tent.
Yeah.
And so, it really is a challenge to, whether or not you want to like being a liberal is a very strange thing today, because there's a part of me that's ashamed of some of the things liberals are doing.
Yeah.
Like it's ashamed of the cancel culture that's going on, and, the censorship that's going on, just being fucking too soft.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go with the liberalism that I grew up with, like John F. Kennedy liberalism, which was like, no, we'll fucking go to Cuba and stands you down. Like, and I think that now you're seeing more and more people that were liberal start to shift to the right. And
it happens with every movement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you think about like, it's always interesting, like who's in power, because the other side's going to have that flare up, right?
Right.
Like, you know, when Obama like took office, and then the embers fueled for the Tea Party to really grow, right? And then you saw this huge alt-right presence, and people are like, what's going on? It's like, well, the left is in power, so there's this extreme arm that's going to come up on the other side. And now you had like the most unpredictable kind of right guy, far right guy, or however you want to describe him. And then so this backlash, the overcorrection on the left is getting, you're seeing the extremes now. You know, the extremes are on either side are always terribly unsettling, you know, like everything from like the physical violence to, you know, just processing what the ideas are. And then like, right now that shit is embarrassing, man. Yeah. The cancel culture and the idea that like, I mean, people just want to take someone's worst moment or maybe even just like bad thought or opinion and be like, I know who you are and we're done with you. Like, hold on. That's not like how we operate here or how we ever have.
Yeah, I know. And you know, language changes. And I mean, do you feel like because, you know, you talked about it in one of your specials, I forget which one, but was it Disgraceful where you kind of talk about this? Things you've said. And do you think stuff like that will haunt you in terms of trying to get a mainstream show on network TV?
I mean, yes and no, in that like, it is funny how I've had conversations with people since that, and they go, hey, they just wanted to like check in about, you know, that bit. And I'm like, are you serious? Like they're actually talking about that? And they're like, yeah, they just wanted to see like what the temperature was on that. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. There's that part of it. The other part, and I'm not even trying to sound like too cool for it, but I've really had a change of heart or opinion on like what I want to do or what feels fulfilling. And like, I remember that I feel like it was a thing where people used to like put in my head, like you want to be on sitcom, you want to have your own, like, and it's been like this slow kind of recognition where I'm like, you know, I don't want to do that. You know, I for some reason, like you say that and people think, are you trying to be like contrarian? Are you trying to like be like, make a statement as an artist? I'm like, no, I've been through the development process a few times. I've had, you know, pilots greenlit and all that stuff. It's just not my dream. It's not what I aspired to do. So, and like, I know that like what I have going on with podcasting and stand up, I'm sure it has a window. I'm sure it has like a shelf life, but if you ask me like what I enjoy doing the most, it's those things. I really do.
Just the opposite. I think that the shelf life on podcasting and stand up is probably the longest out of anything you can do in show business, because as long as you're being true to yourself, your listeners are going to age with you. They're going to be going through the things you're going through as you hit different stages. And I think with stand-up, it's almost like there's the people that have never seen you before that you're trying to convince to come check you out. And you know, when you're doing good shows, that those people are coming back.
Yeah.
So that just grows. I mean, there's comics on the road today that make an amazing living that people don't really talk about or know. I mean, you look at like Ron White or somebody like that.
Yeah.
He's making fucking tens of millions of dollars a year because he does amazing shows every time. And those people, so it's assuming you keep your quality up. I think it's much more so than trying to get cast in sitcoms.
Yeah. I mean, you know, here's what you can always tell more than on your words on how you react to something. And there's like, you could go through my emails and see that like there's 20 emails in a row over a period of time of they're like, hey man, do you want to go in for this part for this thing? And I'm just like, nah, like, I don't want to. And they're like, really? I'm like, no. Now that's not to say that like something couldn't come in that is either like interesting or awesome or just, I think it's funny
for you.
Yeah. That like you go, yeah, I'll do it because, but I mean like the idea of me going like, the goal is that it's not the goal for me. You know, it's not what I want to do. I mean, I've always liked features, and you know, I've actively tried to get a couple features made. I've had parts in like 4 or 5 movies, like small parts. I enjoy features so much more because I love the idea of like, they're like, here's a story and this is the beginning, the middle, and the end. This is the shooting schedule, and then it's over. Yeah. And I think it's better for people like us, like who you actually care more about these other things. It's fun to jump in and out of a feature, to me,
right?
Than to be like, I'm. For me, a television show means you're restructuring your life,
right?
And that's not as appealing.
And also, it's so if you're not auditioning a lot, because everybody's fucking leaving LA. Has Rogan moved already?
He's moved. Yeah, he's gone.
So he's gone. Joey Diaz is gone.
He's gone.
Duncan Trussell's gone.
He's gone. Theo Vaughn left. I'm trying to think. There's a couple others.
Where'd Theo go?
I think it's public, but if it's not, please take it out.
Yeah.
Nashville.
Oh my God. So would you consider that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's interesting because my wife is like a hardcore Angelino, you know?
Yeah. She's from here, right?
Yeah. I mean, she moved here when she was 2, so it's all she knows. And I know that it wouldn't have been, I've floated just like in, you know, you're laying in bed and you go like, would you ever move? So like I floated that idea before, and it was always like, not a chance. And then, a couple months ago I floated it, and she was like, yes, I would.
No shit.
Yeah. And, I mean, here's the thing, man. Like, I do love it here, and I love being near a coast. I think it's all I've known for most of my life, but I've had like a real weird feeling here. And I know that quarantine and everything is a big part of it, but you know, I feel like this state is like, I don't know. It's kind of glaring to me that it's not managed that fantastically, and it's tough too. It's not an easy job.
No.
And then like, you know, not going to lie, the way that the blue states oftentimes approach any issues is like, well, just fucking tax everybody more, you know? And so I started to consider that and be like, well, you know, where else could I live? So I started to do that, and I'm checking out other places.
Yeah, and also flying out of LA is a huge pain in the ass. I mean, I feel like maybe because I started in New York, so many of my gigs are on the East Coast. Sometimes I'll have 6 weeks where 4 of those weeks I'm flying all the way to the East Coast from LA.
Yeah.
And if I was in the middle part of the country, that'd be a piece of cake. You know, then you're home every Sunday by noon. You know,
those flights add up.
Yeah.
Like the tax on your body is what, you know what I mean? Like when you're on one of those heavy touring years and you're like, every week I do a 5 or 6 hour flight one way and then a 5 or 6 hour flight the other way. I feel like it's brutal on you, you know?
Yeah.
And so I started to think about that too, about, man, if I moved any further east, how that would probably feel on my body later.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah. So let's talk about some football. I know you're a football fan. You're from Cincinnati, right? Are you a Bengals fan?
Originally, I am from Cincinnati, and I spent the first, I would say, 10 years of my life pretty dedicated Bengals fan. But I left, and they were so bad after I left that when I was, especially if you're a kid, you don't have, that's different when you're like even a teenager or something, and you go, well, this is my team. But I was like 9 and 10. Yeah. And I was like, yo, these guys suck that bad. And they're like, yeah, they really suck. That I started to gravitate towards other teams. But I always keep my eye on the Bengals, you know? I always like.
What do you think of this guy, Joe Burrow?
Well, I was watching the game a little yesterday. I watched that horrific shovel pass.
The little
they threw into Ingram's arms. And I was like, but I also think that, look, it doesn't matter how good you are. He's a tremendous, tremendous quarterback. Like that leap from college to the NFL is legit. And, you know, I think the guy's promising. You're always going to have rookie mistakes. And, you know, the NFL is the best players in the world by far.
Yeah. And if people don't follow football, this guy basically won the Heisman Trophy last year. Did he win the NCAAs?
Yeah, they won the national
So
championship.
he was undefeated last year.
Yeah.
And he's this hotshot rookie. They made him captain of the team, which is pretty
Crazy.
rare rookie. And honestly, I watched the whole game because I was just I love seeing a new guy come in.
Yeah.
I just love seeing if they can step up and you know what? He fucking in the end of the game, he had no timeouts left, and he drove 80 yards down the field and almost scored a touchdown to win the game. And he like hurry up offenses and stuff that it would take a seasoned player to be able to do that.
He's kind of that kid is. I mean, I didn't watch all the game yesterday. I watched like a quarter, but I mean, I did watch 6-7 games last year, full games at LSU, and you could tell that like this is not. It's not just a guy who's being successful in college.
Right.
He was legit.
Right.
The arm, presence, game awareness, decision making. Like he had it all. Yeah, I mean, it looks. I see the upside for him for sure. I watched a little bit of that Bucks Saints game, and Saints look fucking good.
Saints look really good. It was good to see those two quarterbacks line up.
It was cool.
Brady and Breeze.
Yeah, and Breeze. Bucks have some growing pains, but I also think the Saints looked really, really good. You know,
they did. I mean, there was. I was really surprised that Brady didn't use Gronkowski more, and that they didn't. I thought they were going to try to make a statement in this first game, and they fell short. A lot of it was miscommunications. I think it's going to take time until he learns their offense, or they change their offense, which I guess is really what they're doing.
Right.
And so.
I haven't heard, by the way, I don't know, because maybe it's out there and I just didn't pick up on it. So it's interesting in college ball, you know, the Big Ten and the Pac-12 and another conference canceled. There's no football for them.
Right.
But then in the South, the SEC and the ACC were like, yes, there is.
With crowds, right?
Yeah. They're like, we're not canceling. Like, you think you've seen some protests and riots? You're going to see a new level if you cancel our fucking football season. They're not playing games down there.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they've made any announcement about a national championship, because it feels like it would be like so silly to have one without the other conferences.
Yeah, that's not like truncating a season, but everybody's still in it, which I think is valid. Like the NBA thing, I think is actually almost an improvement in a way, how focused everybody is, and you know, no distractions. And I think
Have you been watching
a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah. But my son is a huge basketball fan, so he left like a week ago to go back to college. So I haven't watched a game since.
Okay. What city does he go to?
He's in Chicago. He goes to DePaul, and he's he's a fucking great kid, man. I miss him. It's really hard. It's really hard. He's like, he may be back. Who knows? I think the second wave might really suck. But I'm glad he's in Chicago. I think it's a great sports city. I'd like to see him get caught up and be in the Cubs, maybe. You know,
that's a great sports city, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Bears, Bulls, Cubs, Sox, like that's Blackhawks. Yeah. I mean, they got and they really, that city really, you know, kind of turns and goes with like how those sports are doing. You know, their sports teams like make a big difference. I like cities like that.
Yeah. Right.
Where they can tell like people are walking around with some swagger. Like, why? They're like, oh, the fucking, you know, Bulls are undefeated or whatever.
Right.
And then everybody's down in the dumps. Yeah, the Bears fucking suck, and they feel what the team's doing, you know.
Yeah, and I like cities that have two teams. I like having the White Sox and the Cubs. Being from New York and having the Mets and the Yankees. It's just so funny because it doesn't necessarily break down to like you would think it would be. There'd be a poor team and a rich team.
Yeah,
you know, but it's not how it breaks down.
But in Chicago, I've always heard that like the working class, you know, Southsiders, that's you're a Sox fan, and then they always call the, you know, at least this is, I mean, not I've never lived there, but like that, like, you know, the Cubs. Oh, of course, that's for the upper class. Oh, yeah,
that's true. I guess that's true. I think with the Yankees and the Mets, it's changed. I think the Yankees, when they redid the stadium and all of a sudden Wall Street bought up all the fucking good seats, and it was like, you know, $120 to sit in the bleachers, then it became a rich team.
Right.
But it hadn't been. The Yankees were the poor team.
Right.
So, But I grew up, I always believed, look, my dad's paying taxes. I wasn't paying taxes. I was a kid, but I figured my dad's paying taxes. I get both fucking teams. I got double the chances of having a fucking winner this year.
Of course. Of course. I mean, for me, you know, I was never really into baseball, but I always thought, like, as a kid, I'd be like, who the fuck is a Mets fan? Because I didn't live in the area.
Right.
And when I was a kid, they were winning World Series like every year, you know?
I went to the Yankees.
The Yankees, yeah, dude. And I was like, holy shit. And then I went to school. I went to high school for 1 year with Prince Fielder. And his dad, Cecil, was on the Yankees as a DH one of the years that they won the World Series also.
Wow.
And this kid, man, I'm telling you. So I went to a school that had it had different campuses, right? So my campus was 7 through 12. It was a small school in Florida. And he was a 7th grader when I was a junior in high school. And we saw this kid. I didn't even know who he was at first, but I saw this kid, and he was about 5'9", 5'10", 245 in 7th grade. And I was like, and he looked like kind of like a little butterball.
Yeah.
But so we go into the gym, and he's playing basketball with kids his age and like fucking them up. He's like doing turnaround jumpers and like he's running up and down the court, and we're like, oh shit. Yeah. So we all go up to him, a bunch of football players, and we're like, we look like grown men, right? We're like juniors and seniors in high school. We're all football players. And we come up to him, we're like, yo, you got to play football. And he was like, no, I don't want to play football. We're like, what? He's like, no, I'm not. He's like, I play basketball and baseball. And then, you know, someone's like, you know, his dad's Cecil Fielder. And we're like, oh shit. And then he goes out to the baseball field. He's a 7th grader, man. He's, you know, 7th grader, you're 12 years old, just raking balls. Fucking.
Really?
Yeah. And we were like, oh shit. And then, the baseball coach was salivating over him. And his dad would pull up to school to drop him off every day in a different, like, exotic Lamborghinis, like fucking Viper, Dodge Viper.
That's hilarious. Ferraris. Wait, this was in Florida?
Uh-huh. So
no shit.
He had been, I guess, on the Tigers, and he gets signed to the Yankees, but he moves the family to Florida, at least for like that year or two.
Right.
And I mean, I remember that was like my biggest exposure to the Yankees, is because like literally a schoolmate has a dad on the Yankees, you know? Yeah, right. So I started to like pay attention, and Cecil Fielder would come to our high school football games and shit. It was kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah, we were more Mets fans growing up because even though I was born in the Bronx, we should have been Yankees fans. Yeah. But my dad's radio station carried the Mets, so we had free tickets to any. They carried the Rangers, the Mets, the Giants. So we had tickets to any of those games, and so we used to go to Shea Stadium back when the Mets were so fucking bad. Up until 85. I mean, people think, you know, they won the World Series in 86. In 84, they were fucking terrible.
Quickly they turned it around.
Yeah, it was really fast. And so we would go to those games, and of course people knew my dad, so we'd walk in and all these fucking drunks from Queens with red beards, they'd be like, Fitz! And I'd be like, this is fucking great. But then we'd watch the game and I'd be like, Dad, can we leave? This is fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, that was kind of like my Bengals run, was that I'm a kid and my dad, you know, you always kind of are drawn to what your dad likes, you know? So as a little kid, my dad just watched football. It's his only, like really his only, he casually watched other sports. He loved football. Yeah. So we're watching football all the time together. I don't know anything about the game other than like, you know, just watching it on TV. I'm 6, 7, 8 years old. When I'm 9 and we're getting ready to leave Cincinnati, that's the year they play, that's 88. They play the Niners in the Super Bowl. So that's how good the Bengals are. But I'm so young, I don't realize how special that is, you know? I'm like, this will be the Bengals all the time.
Right.
Like Boomer Esiason, Ickey Woods, and, you know, and then they lose that game. We moved to Minneapolis, and it just begins literally the decade of the 90s. The Bengals, their winning percentage is like fucking 100 or something. I mean, it's like they win like 10 games over the decade.
Yeah.
It's so bad that I just gravitated because I couldn't. I mean, I didn't have the stamina to hang with them for a decade.
So did you jump on the Vikings, Randy Moss?
Well, that's the thing. We moved to Dyke. I went to Chris Dolman's football camp, Rich Gannon's football camp, like as a kid.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm a Viking. Then we moved to Milwaukee, and at the time we moved to Milwaukee, the Packers are playing half their home games in Milwaukee County Stadium. So they're splitting their games. They used to play only half their home games at Lambeau in Green Bay, and the other half in Milwaukee.
Why?
Where the Brewers play. Yeah, and it was the only stadium where both teams were on the same sideline. So you see players like fucking yelling.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, right.
Like hockey.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
And then we lived there a few years. Then we moved to Florida, and I was about 2 hours north of Miami. So I used to drive down to Dolphins games. And actually, I'm a big FSU fan, but it was much closer to go to the Orange Bowl. So I would go to Hurricane games just to watch college football live. You know?
Wow.
And the Orange Bowl was like wild, man.
Yeah.
Because it was in a bad part of Miami, and it was an old, shitty stadium, but there really wasn't a bad seat in the house. One of those stadiums, you know what I mean? Where like, if you don't have any money, but you have a ticket and you're up high, you have like a perfect view of the game because it's like, it's in tight. And it was pretty cool to watch games.
Wait, how many seats were in that stadium?
In the Orange Bowl?
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, I don't remember. I remember it being, I feel like it was smaller than most college football stadiums.
Okay. What was the stadium that they used to do the comedians would perform at halftime at one of the bowl games? Did you ever hear about that down in Florida?
Comedians would perform at halftime during, no.
There was like this famous show that they would do during one of the bowl games. And it was always like, they'd get and this is back before anything was politically correct. Like, think of a college hiring Andrew Dice Clay today. They hired Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, I know what it was. This was Gator Growl in
is
Gainesville,
that what it
right?
is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I remember Tosh and all those guys doing the Gator Growl.
Yeah.
Which is like, they would bring in huge acts to do. That's University of Florida would do that. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember Lenny Clark was telling me about opening up for Dice. And so he gets on stage and picture a college crowd. They don't know who the fuck Lenny Clark is. And they're dying to see Dice. So they just start booing and it becomes contagious. Now it's funny to just boo this poor guy.
Yeah.
And so Lenny goes, hey, I'm doing 20 minutes. You guys can do whatever the fuck you want. And he knew this might happen. So there was, there was big screens up. Yeah. And so he takes off his shoes and his socks. He sits on the stool and he starts clipping his toenails.
No.
And they're doing like a close-up of it. And he's got these nasty-ass, middle-aged Boston feet. And he's like, and then they just start laughing.
Yeah.
And he kind of gets them and he finishes his set.
Holy shit. That's kind of brilliant though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of like my bombing, when this is not at all the same thing, but I did stand up at a minor league baseball game.
Oh shit. Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I was too naive to know how bad of an idea that was.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been, like featuring and doing well at that.
Yeah.
And then Dan Godfrey down in Brea, he's like, you want to do a stand up at this game? And I don't know how he convinced me to do it. I get there, you just can feel it inside. You're like, this is going to be bad, man. And,
your fight and flight are battling hard.
Yes. And Ricky Henderson, Hall of Famer, is way past his prime. He's playing in the game for the San Diego Sea Dogs.
Oh, no shit.
And they're like, and so that's a big deal at this game. They're like, Ricky Henderson's playing.
Yeah.
So I get the idea that not only am I going to do my set, but I'm also going to roast Ricky Henderson. Just no one tells me to. I just think this is a good idea.
Yeah.
So I just have all these old ass Ricky jokes. I'm like, why don't you fucking wheel Ricky out so he can watch the show and shit like that. I'm eating shit so hard though. And like the players are laughing at me bombing during jokes.
Yeah.
but B, me making fun of Ricky, because they can't make fun of Ricky. You know?
Right.
They're like, they're kids.
Yeah.
So anyways, I only have this much material, and I try to navigate what I can. When I walk off, I was like, holy shit. And the guy, like the GM of the team, was like, so during the 7th inning stretch, we'll have you come back. I go, I'm not coming back. And he's like, what? I go, I'm not going back out there, man. Didn't you see that? That was terrible.
Yeah. Right.
He's like, oh no, I thought that was great. I go, no. That's done.
Yeah.
Play some music, give away some shirts. I'm not going back out there. I go, as a matter of fact, I won't even be here. So I'm definitely not going out there. We stayed, watch a couple of innings of baseball. But it reminded me, Kevin Nealon told me this great story about, he's like, he has such like a Zen perspective on things. And he was saying about, he booked a gig on SNL, and he had Sandler booked to open for him. And he goes, between the time that it was booked and the time that the gig came, Sandler ascended from like an unknown to a star. Yeah. He's like, so when we actually did the gig, he was like, had just exploded, and he was still booked to be the opener. So he opened. He's like, he killed so fucking hard. Like he was doing like Red Hooded sweatshirt and everything. He's like, and he goes, then I went out there and just ate shit. But he goes, but I thought, that's show business. That's show business, which I think is like, it's so true. Dude. By the way, Orange Bowl capacity, 72,000.
72. Yeah. I thought it was so big.
That's decent. That's decent. Yeah. It's not that small, but I guess it felt small from how the stadium was designed. Right. And, and then compared to the big stadiums in college, it's not even close.
Dude, I used to bring Jimmy Fallon to open for me on the road when I was a New York comic. Wow. And he was a baby. I mean, he had literally just started doing it. But he was such a nice kid, and, he was so excited. And so like, I remember bringing him out to Vegas, and I was headlining, and then Keith Robinson was the feature, and then Jimmy Fallon was the opener. And we get out there, and Keith, just the fucking ball buster of all time. Yeah. So we're relentless with Jimmy. He's like a puppy dog, and he's just sitting there, and like me and Keith would be telling stories in the green room and cracking each other up, and then he would try to jump in on and tell one of his stories, and we would just fucking stare at him. And God, anything, and we would let him fucking twist and burn. And so, like, we did this while we were calling him Kid Vegas and torturing him. And then I'm telling you, 6 months later, I call up Keith and I'm like, you hear about Kid Vegas? He's like, SNL. I go, yep. Not opening for us anymore.
Holy shit. And by the way, I can feel what you guys did to him. Like when you tell me that, like when you try to jump in and people are like... And you feel like your insides are dying.
Yeah, right.
It's so brutal.
Because you just can't comprehend their confidence and their ease at that time, because you're feeling so small. Yeah. So like needy. Yeah. Yeah. And you just want them to like see you the way like your best friends see you. Yeah. Do you have anybody famous open for you?
Oh, man, have I had anyone famous open for me? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. No, I mean,
who do you bring on the road? Oh, you bring a few different people, right?
I bring a few different people. Yeah, I mean, I remember. Let's see. I mean, on this last tour, I brought a handful of people. Yeah. Josh Potter, Ryan Sickler, Matt Fulshron, Jeff Tate, but all like killers. Right. I feel like I got that early from guys that I opened for that were always like, try to make the show killer, not like your set. Right. So these guys were all killer. I mean, what's Jay Moore is one of the first guys I opened for. Dude, he would bring like his list of openers before me was Nick Swardson. Yeah. Ralphie May. Yeah. Bert Kreischer. I was like after Bert. But like the people who I was looking at before me who had the job, I was like, holy shit. Because those guys would fucking destroy.
Yeah, I respect guys that do that. That's
Russell
cool.
Peters too. Like Russell Peters and Rogan would both be like the way that they'd be like, I want you to not like have a good set. They're like, I want you to fucking destroy.
Yeah.
They'd look at you weird if you didn't.
Right.
You know, they'd be like, what happened out there? And you're like, I don't know. Just didn't go that well.
Yeah.
But like because the thing is like you learned with them that like you couldn't kill too hard for them to have a good set.
Right.
You know? Like,
and if you're good, the crowd, if they crack the crowd into going from, I think there's a group, almost like a consciousness that a crowd starts to live in.
Yeah.
And that can crack and that can go to another level of like euphoria where they're no longer thinking individually. They're thinking as a crowd. They're just reacting as a fucking unit of joy. And if you can get the first guy to get them there, there's no way you're not going to follow that. It's only going to make you do better.
100%. And I actually think that I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I think it feels worse. It feels worse to have a crowd that's like, that wants to do that. Like they're excited to be there, but you don't get them to there, than a crowd that doesn't respond well.
Right.
Like when you can feel that the crowd wants to die of laughter.
Yeah.
But it's like blue balls. They're like, we're ready. And you're like, why aren't you fucking just come over? And they're like, And
you're like, this usually never happens to me. I swear to God, this is the first time.
Like just give it to me. And they're like, no. That feels worse to me. Like a 75% their crowd.
Right.
Than like that crowd sucked. I'd rather have them suck.
Especially when it's like a Saturday early show where that's the one you don't even think twice about it. You don't even look at your notes. You just walk on stage like, all right, I'm about to get adulation pumped up my ass. Yeah. And then sometimes they're actually kind of conservative. You forget that they can be a little bit like proper. And so all of a sudden you're like halfway through the set and they're not popping. They're not going to that next place. And it's true. You look at them and you're both just looking like it's almost like an uncomfortable first date.
Yep, it's exactly an uncomfortable first date. And then you get to the end of a 6-show weekend on a Sunday and you look at the other guy and you're like, can you believe it? Thursday and Sunday were the best.
Yeah, right.
Like both shows Friday, both shows Saturday, we didn't enjoy it. But Thursday, which we thought was a fuck off show, was great.
Right.
And then the Sunday show that I didn't even want to do, this was amazing.
Yeah. So you got dates coming up. I won't keep you. So let's plug your dates. You only have a couple. You're going to be doing the Mirage in Vegas on October 24th. I
don't even know, man. I don't know that that's true because Vegas has their own set of rules. I actually have an October thing that's on the books now that's not even on my site yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah.
But I've been, because every month I get a phone call about like what's shifting here. I just had something. I just learned on a tweet that Harrah's in SoCal is like, Tom's show coming up is now in June of 2021. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So this stuff moves all the time. I try to keep it updated as much as I can.
Right. All right. Before we go, I play a game every week. It's called Rank 'em. I'm going to give you 3 things, and you're going to rank them.
Okay.
By any criteria you want. I'm not going to tell you how to rank them. Number 1, farts. Number 2, diarrhea. And number 3, queefs.
Farts are number 1. Farts are number 1. Farts are number 1. I actually would do it in your order. Farts are number 1. Diarrhea is number 2. Queefs are number 3. I find diarrhea a little more satisfying than queefs. And there's different types of diarrhea. Some people experience diarrhea as a regular thing, but it's like a one-time event. Some people only consider diarrhea to be physical illness in which it doesn't stop for like more than, 6 or 7 movements. Like, you know what I mean? Like I consider diarrhea to be something that happens every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's things that I eat and it's followed by diarrhea.
Do you know when you're eating that thing that it's going to cause diarrhea?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
And you do it anyway.
Yeah. Now I have gotten to the point in my life where I'm limiting those times. I used to be like, it's crazy how much diarrhea I have and I don't know what's causing it. And then, like my wife would be like, do you think it's the thing that always causes it that I see you eating all the time? Or what do you think? And then now I'm like, I'm sharp too, detective. So Yeah, there's certain like fried things. Like she'll see me if I have something fried. She'll be like, that's gonna do to you, right? And I'll be like, oh yeah, this is definitely gonna give me diarrhea.
And then you eat it.
Depending on the day.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'll actually, it's like if it's like later in the like at night, I might go like, you know what? I don't want to deal with diarrhea right now. It's too late in the day.
Yeah.
And I'll put it down.
Good for you.
Same thing with like certain dairies and stuff. I'll be like, it's too late. It's too late to deal with this.
Right.
But if you get me early in the day, you can shove anything in my mouth. Because you guys farts are just amazing though.
A fart, farts are. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like there's coughing, sneezing, and throwing up, and it's like the fart is it's a good cough. It's like
there's also different types.
It soothes it.
There's farts that are almost a sexual experience.
Yeah,
like, they're so relieving. Where like you're done and you're like, God damn it. And like I told my wife the other day, I go, that fart was so good, I want to jerk off. And she goes, do you think of me as a woman at all? And I was like, yeah. She goes, yeah, I don't want to hear that. I was like, all right. I mean, now do you find, she makes fun of me for this, but do you find a good sneeze to be just unbelievably satisfying?
Well, yeah, there's a reason why they used to have snuff. I mean, they say it's like an orgasm. When I sneeze,
okay, good.
And especially when you got to fight for it, when you got to start looking for the light.
Yeah.
And it's come, it may come, it may not come. It's like an orgasm when you're drunk. Like, can I get there? And then you get it, and it's just like this full body release. And then afterwards, there really is like a post-coital moment.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
She's always like, I don't know anybody that enjoys their bodily functions as much as you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, the sneezing, I feel like that's like a freebie like mini orgasm. Yeah. And like there's like 15 to 20% of the population that has light induced sneezing, Yeah. Like it's a minority. So a lot of times you tell people that and they're like, what are you talking about? But I'm like that too, where if I feel one coming and I look for light, it'll trigger it,
Yeah. Right.
If I'm in like in a theater, like a movie theater, and you walk out and the sun's out and you're like, wow. And I'll just, and then afterwards I'm like, I feel drunk. It feels good, man.
Well, the reason why they say bless you after you sneeze is because, I don't know if this is a old conspiracy theory, but your heart misses a beat when you sneeze. So that's why, did you know that's why they say God bless you?
I had no idea.
Why did you think they said it?
I thought it was like a thing about when you sneeze like that, your some tale about your soul leaves you. So like,
oh, really?
So someone's saying like, bless you. Yeah. Because it had left you. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that if, last night I had this fart building, it was like, it was like that weight that moves from the middle of your belly to your lower belly and then down to your rectum. And you realize when it's moving that slow, you got something good.
Yeah.
And so I rolled over towards my wife, and then I didn't push it out. I let it release. And then on the way out, then I tightened, and it was like, she literally said, do you need me to get you some tissues? It was that wet and loud, but it was completely dry, but it sounded like I had shit my pants.
That's awesome.
It was really good.
I was in the kitchen the other day, and my 4-year-old was on a step stool at the counter, and I saw him stand up, and he goes, oh, and he looks at me, he goes, I farted, but I pooped. Because he doesn't know sharting, And I was like, oh, that's all right. He's like, yeah, it's all poop. And I was like, okay. They don't know how to like control it yet,
Right.
So he just lets it go.
All right, Tom Segura, you've done it again. You've been on Fitzdog Radio many times. Always a pleasure to have you.
I always have a good time with you, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, and just to plug your podcast, obviously, Your Mom's House that you do.
Mom's House, and I also do, I do Your Mom's House with Christina, Two Bears, One Cave with Bert. Yeah. And, man, hitting the road, hopefully soon, TomSegura.com for all the tour dates.
Great. Okay. All right, brother. We'll catch up to you soon.
Thanks a lot, man. It was fun.
Thank you.
Good time,
appreciate
for sure.
it.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.